Where did all these f***ing washers come from?
Yeah, dude, I bought a tank top today and a hat, so...
You're a big flexer.
I need beer.
What's up, guys? So today we're going to be installing an XSR slipper clutch on the 2014 XSR9. These bikes are kind of known for having weaker clutches, so I needed to get a new one regardless. It was slipping a lot in every gear, so I decided to go with the XSR slipper clutch. A little bit more reliable, a little bit safer whenever you're downshifting aggressively, and I'm really looking forward to it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so for this job I wanted to start, basically brand new, fresh. I wanted an entire new kit with my clutch, so basically everything new. So what I did was, on Part Shark, they have this kit available. It is the XSR900 slipper clutch kit for the XSR9. And so this is everything that comes in the box. So what it does not include OEM clutch plates, and it does not include OEM friction plates. So it does come with some alternative friction plates and one clutch plate that you are going to use, but they're slightly different from OEM. So if you wanted to do an entire clutch swap, you're going to need to get these as well. And for these, what you're going to need, here's the part number for them. I will put links in the description as well. But you're going to need 6 of these friction plates, and you're going to need 7 of these OEM clutch plates. So 6, 7, and we also have the kit. All of this should give us everything that we need to replace the entire clutch. So let's dig into this box real quick just to give you a rundown what's inside. So first off, let's look at this here stack plates. So this is a washer that goes into the clutch. Pretty straightforward. This is a spring washer. This is one of those separate friction plates that comes with the XSR kit. And these are slightly different than the OEM plates, because if you look, you can see this one is slightly thinner than the OEM. So they have a place in the clutch basket. They're not the same. I will show you where exactly to put them whenever you install the basket. So in the kit, you have these, and it comes with 3 of these friction plates. It also comes with this clutch plate that is a little bit different than OEM. So I'll show you where to throw this in as well. It's a 16324. So you have the 16331, those are the XSR friction plates, and then the 16324, which is the XSR clutch plate. The clutch boss itself, pressure plate. And this pressure plate is going to go on last. I'll show you guys how to do that. This kit also comes with a gasket, so whenever you change out your clutch, you can put a new gasket on it. That's pretty nice. You get 3 of these little grommets. You put these on the pressure plate on the outside. You also get new clutch springs. This system runs with 3 instead of 6 like stock, so it's going to be slightly less clutch pull, which is nice. Also comes with a new nut to mount the clutch boss. It's a clutch boss nut. And comes with another pressure plate that holds the actual clutch pressure plate in place. And as well as these 3 bolts for the springs. So this is how all the plates are going to sit inside the clutch basket. So we're going to start from the inside of the bike to the outside of the bike. The first thing you're going to place on the inside of the bike is this washer. The number is 16384, so you're going to place this in very first. Next you have this cushion spring washer, and for this it is very important that you put the concave side facing outwards of the bike. So kind of look at it, it's kind of tapered, kind of concaves one direction. So whenever you're placing these in there, you're going to put this washer in first and you're going to place this in second, and you need to make sure that it's concaved pushing out. Next plate you're going to throw in is the 16331. This is a friction plate that is slightly thinner than the OEM plate. So you're going to do a 331 directly after the concave spring cushion. After the 16331, you're going to go to an OEM clutch plate, which is a 16325. So you're going to throw one of these OEM clutch plates in. Then you're going to go to the 16321, which is the OEM friction plate for the clutch. You're going to go to the 325 again, another clutch plate. Back to the OEM friction plate, 321, 325, 321, 325, 321, 325, 321, 325, 321, 325. Now you're going to come back to the 331, which is that thinner friction plate that comes with the XSR kit. Then you're going to add the 16324, which is the pressure plate or clutch plate that came with the XSR kit. And then on top, you're going to add the 16331, another one of those thinner friction plates. So whenever you do this last step, whenever you place these into the clutch basket, they're all going to be aligned perfectly. But with this one, you're going to place this onto this pressure plate assembly before you put it on top. So you're going to place this 16321 onto this first, and you're going to stick it into the grooves. And once you place that onto here, these grooves are going to be, I guess you could say, opposite of each other. So it's going to be sitting like this. You don't want it to be flush. You want it to be sitting like that. This is how the clutch is going to sit inside your basket. This being the inside of the bike. So you're going to have your thinner friction plates designated with a pink and your OEM plates designated with black. So you're going to have, you know, XSR plate, thinner plate, all of your OEM plates, 331, the thinner plate again, and then you're going to have this last friction plate that is offset, and you're going to place this last plate onto the pressure plate first and then push that onto the stack. So now we're going to go ahead and soak these in some oil after we check to make sure that they're in tolerance. The tolerance ranges from 1.68 inches to 1.71 inches. So we're going to go ahead and test that out here. I'm going to use a micrometer. 1.708. So we should be good. Now we're going to go ahead and throw them in some oil, get them all soaked up, and then put them in the bike. We're going to start from the bottom, place one plate down at a time. Add just a little touch of oil on there. I also went ahead and picked up an oil filter since I just assumed I would go ahead and change the oil while I'm at it. While those plates are soaking, I'm going to go ahead and pull the clutch cover off here. I went ahead and pulled this cable off of the clutch arm, so now we just got to take off these Allen heads. These are a size 5 Allen key. So I pulled the clutch cover off, and I discovered that the clutch basket itself is cracked in 2 spots, which kind of sucks because I don't have that piece, but I went ahead and ordered another one online. It's listed as the primary driven comp, I believe, but there's this company that makes like a more reinforced one, so I went ahead and went with that because I guess these are pretty prone to cracking. You can see one crack there, and then another one is right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but so yeah, now we're gonna change this too. So we'll be doing the whole job.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so we just got this in the mail today. It's the reinforced clutch basket I was telling you guys about. It's made by a company called Extreme Creations. They're based out of Australia. I used DHL to ship it, and I ordered it on a Friday and it got here like today, which is a Sunday. They shipped in like literally 2 days from Australia, so that was dope. Getting an OEM one of these, they're like hella week, and they run around, I think right around $300. And for this one, it was like $400 after shipping. So if you do like a lot of wheelies or clutch ups or you're hard on the bike, I would definitely just recommend getting one of these if yours does break, because you're just gonna save money in the long run. We're gonna go and throw this in, throw on the whole clutch, and see how it makes the change. We're gonna need to pull these Boss Boss plate nuts. I think that's what they're called. Nope. So that's a 10 millimeter. So we're gonna go and pull those off. Once getting these screws out, you're gonna be able to pull this plate off right here, and then you'll be able to pull out all the discs. So this right here, this should come out with your boss plate. So you're just gonna go ahead and set this aside for now. Now we're just gonna pull all the plates out. So we just pulled off all the plates. Honestly, these plates don't look terrible besides this one broken disc, which will probably be the cause of the slippage. Looks like we're still missing a piece, so I'm gonna go ahead and fish around in there and find the rest of it. Bruh, it's not in here. Yeah. So upon further investigation, I found that this clutch plate, or this friction plate, is the only bit that's in the bike. Just like that. So I guess that means whoever tore this clutch apart last time didn't put the other piece in, or didn't replace the plate. I don't know. Just kind of weird. I mean, that kind of explains why the clutch has been running bad. So the majority of the plates have this smooth edge on the outside end of the bike, and it's actually supposed to be reversed. It's supposed to have the sharp end going out because it has more, you know, friction. It grabs better when you're shifting. So just maybe a user error, previous owner, led to a long-term failure. I don't know. I just don't see how this clutch plate could possibly break one half of it off and then disintegrate and go through the entire oil filter. That's just literally impossible to me. So it's all good. We're gonna go and change her out though, do it the right way, because that's how we do it. After getting the clutch plates out, you're gonna have to unstake this here bolt. So you're gonna have to get a baby screwdriver in there and pound it out so you can take this bolt off. It'll probably ruin your screwdriver, so don't use one that you love, but we're gonna do that now. We put on the clutch tool here just to hold this in place. Now we're gonna beat it in with a mallet with this baby screwdriver just to unstake that bolt. So we're gonna need to take this bolt off. It is a 30 millimeter socket. I'm gonna go ahead and use an impact driver, but this thing's secured with red Loctite. So we're gonna heat it up a little bit with this torch. Just to kind of loosen it. Try to focus on the nut itself, not necessarily the shaft. Cake, baby. Next step, we're gonna pull this clutch housing out. So it's actually held in there by this chain right here. So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to remove this, which is a 10 millimeter. We're gonna go ahead and pull this off like that. We're gonna disconnect this here sprocket from the chain, just like that. Take this, put it somewhere safe. Now you should be able to just pull this off.
Oh wow, she came right off.
Bada bang. So we got a spacer
And a washer.
and this washer is gonna ride in between the clutch basket and the crank.
So once you get the aftermarket clutch basket placed into the primary driven gear, you're going to need to install it. So the first thing you need to do is to get these two spacers. You're going to place them inside each other, and then you're going to place them directly into the clutch basket itself. Now the next step is you're going to need to get the chain, place the chain onto the clutch basket. And then you're going to need to take the smaller sprocket and then place the sprocket on the bottom end of the chain. And when you place the sprocket on, you're going to have to align it to the oil pump shaft so that it goes on correctly.
You're gonna want to make sure the gear aligns with this gear right here so that everything's lined up. Alright guys, so once you align the little cogs down here for the gears, it should just slide in. Now you're gonna have to put the bolt back in. We're gonna put that right in there, secure this bottom sprocket, make sure that this groove is aligned correctly. Alright, once you get that sprocket on and you line the key in there, you're just gonna throw that little nut on. It's not gonna completely go on, but once you put that nut on, it's gonna secure the bag. Okay, so once you get this here clutch basket on and you get your little sprocket locked in place, you're gonna throw your XSR or stock clutch thing on. Put this here washer in. So you're gonna put that in first. You're gonna put that on. We're going to throw this washer back on. It's the thinner one with no markings on it. After the thin washer, you're going to put this other washer on it. This one should say out on it. It's slightly thicker than the first washer, and it says out, so you're gonna put that portion facing outwards. All right guys, now we're gonna put the bolt on. We're gonna throw some red Loctite on her. We'll throw this little hot boy on there. Torque down the bolt. You're gonna wanna go ahead and throw your clutch tool back on. I'm just gonna go ahead and secure it on my brake lever. So you're gonna take your 30mm socket, you're gonna put her on your good old torque wrench, you're gonna torque it to 90 foot-pounds. Okay, 90 foot-pounds, we're chilling. Now we're gonna have to stake the nut so that it doesn't move. Now we can start putting our entire stack in. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this here washer first. After the washer, we're going to put our spring cushion. This is gonna have the concave side facing outwards. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in. All right, after putting the spring in and the washer, you're gonna go ahead and start putting your plates in. So I've been soaking these bad dogs. What we're gonna wanna do, wanna make sure that the sharper edge of the clutch plates is facing towards the outside of the bike. We're going to start with a thin friction plate, stock, pressure plate. Then we're gonna hit it with the stock friction plate, stock clutch plate, stock friction plate, stock pressure plate, or clutch plate, stock friction plate, stock 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 clutch plate. Now we're gonna go to the thinner friction plate. Once you get that last friction plate in, you're going to take your remaining friction plate for the XSR kit as well as your clutch plate for your XSR kit. You're going to put your friction plate, the very outermost portion of the XSR slipper pressure plate, and then you're going to apply your XSR specific clutch plate with the ribbed sharp edge facing outwards. You're gonna go ahead and align it here. All right guys, before we put this here pressure plate on, we're gonna wanna take this here shift rod, put it through the bottom like this, and then you're good to mount it. You put it on, you're just gonna wanna notch it so that this outer friction plate is one notch off of the other friction plates that you installed. So instead of being on this portion, you're just gonna rotate it one time, just like that. All right, next up, we're gonna put these little rubber stoppers on, and you're going to want to place the little notch in them clockwise. So I'm gonna take this one, put it in just like that, just like that, just like that. After the rubber stoppers are in, we're going to put the springs in. 1, 2, 3, followed by the pressure plate that's gonna hold these in place, followed by these screws. So now we're gonna put the case back on. So whenever we put this case cover back on, you want to make sure that this is aligned so that these teeth are facing the bottom right, so that they will grab these teeth on the inside of the case cover, right here. And once you kind of get it placed on there, you should be able to move this around So as you push, it'll move it back and forth. That's how you know that those gears are grabbing each other. It's gonna do this once you get it in the right spot. You wanna get it so that this arm is down here. I actually pulled my clutch arm off with a snap ring puller. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get this in place, make sure that this moves freely back and forth, and then I'm gonna snug down these bolts real quick, and then I'm gonna adjust the lever to where I want it with the clutch cable. So I'm gonna put the clutch cable on this arm like this, and then I'm going to want to put it back on here. And now I'm just gonna kind of try to pull it back as far as I can. So I'm gonna pull this clutch arm like as far as I can this way so that it has the most pull on this clutch cable that I can get. All right, so we just got this lever on. I have my buddy testing the clutch. Feels like a pretty good pull back, like pretty normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bike in first, try to roll it around and see if the clutch is engaging. If it's not, we're gonna adjust the cables. All right, looks like the clutch is in fact engaging, which is good news. So we're gonna just start it up, see where the disengage is, see if it feels about right. Whenever I'm pulling it in, this top piece isn't completely, or the clutch is not completely disengaging. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. All right guys, so it's working. The adjustments were all good and dandy, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that snap ring back on the clutch arm. Snap ring's on, put the spring back on. All right, she should be good to ride. Damn, so the clutch pull is way lighter. Feels hella nice.
Yeah, Dad.
Holy cow, man. Having that clutch really made this bike come alive. God damn. Alright guys, well, that's gonna do it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.